Did not take
All
all of the
rise.
pictures, no.
Actually, for purposes of
Justice Court is
propriety,
back
I'm
in
going to have
session.
a separate state's proposes number one and take out the pictures that she did take.
Case
Simplify
number
this.
12
All
CR
those photographs appear to be
00011,
consistent with the
State of
way
Nevada
we
versus
observed
Peter
Ms.
James
Castillo on
Helfrich.
January
Let the
2nd.
record reflect.
I mean, obviously,
The defendant is
spelling
present
goes
in
up or
court
down and
Correct.
in custody, represented by
satisfied that's
Mr.
Ms.
Harry
Castillo?
Ginsler of the Nye County Public
And
Defender's Office,
she
and
looks-
the state
she
is
looked that way
represented
basically 3 days
by
before
Deputy
and
District Attorney
apparently looked that
Mr.
way on
Michael
January 5th.
Vieta Cabell.
On January 5th.
This is the date set for trial on
I
one
have no
count
objection to any, to all the
domestic
photographs.
battery.
You don't have
Is
to
the
go.
state ready to proceed?
We are
And
approximately at
Mr. Keene,
Defense is ready.
are you
and I
still
appreciate
ready?
defense counsel. We're ready to proceed. About putting me an hour late. I apologize.
Are there any preliminary motions?
I'll move for admission of rule.
No objection. Exclusionary rule. Judge, let me just advise you that Mr. Helfrich advised me today that he thought he had about $1,600
Ms. Schott,
saved
I
up.
appreciate your
He
appearance
thought
here
800
today.
of that was
In talking to Ms.
accessible to
Castillo,
him.
did she ever give you
After our chat this morning,
an
he indicated he wanted to
explanation or,
hire a
tell you what
private
happened to
counsel
her
and
that
wanted
caused
to
those
continue
injuries?
this matter.
On which day, sir?
I told him that
On any of the
$800 would probably
On the
not be
original day
enough
when
to
I went
tempt
to
a lawyer to
Desert
come out here
Hospital.
from Las Vegas.
I have to admit
So I
that
wanted you to
was
be
a little
aware of
taken
that.
aback. I asked her who did this to her.
Otherwise, I'm
What'd
ready
she
to
say?
go.
She said,
The only thing the state would add to that is,
Peter did it.
I believe Mr. Helfrich was living in sort of an
At
encampment.
any time
And
during
not
any
a-
of your
not an
discussions, did she ever
actual,
indicate to you that
residence.
she had used a weapon
and
or
so-
Held a weapon or brandished a weapon
I'm just
like a
concerned
knife,
if
for
it's
example?
$1,600 to his name,
Remember
that,
anything like
you
that?
know, I mean, you might be able to scrounge up enough to tempt a lawyer, but that would leave you with literally no way to
Speak
put
a little
food
louder,
in
the
your
mic is
mouth
not
and,
picking you up.
you know, clothes on your back.
All right, well, am not privy to Mr.
Did
Helfrich's
Ms. Castillo
personal
ever say anything to
financial
you
situation, other than the fact that he
inconsistent
apparently
about what
qualified
had
for
happened to her
court-appointed
before?
counsel, and I am not of a mind to
No, her
continue this case
storyline
today, so we will.
stayed intact.
Thank you.
Both times that she was seen at no
how many
police on the
witnesses do you
second
have?
and
State
on the
has
third.
3 witnesses, Your
All
Honor.
right, who is your first witness?
The first witness is going to be Ms. Sylvia Castillo.
That's actually all I have.
Are any of the other witnesses present?
They are.
Please wait out in the lobby and do not discuss your testimony with anyone.
State has no further witnesses at this time. It rests its case in chief.
Mr. Keene.
You have the right to testify. Testify, Mr. Vieta Cabell can ask you questions, and you have to answer them truthfully. The judge could ask you questions, too. Do you want to testify about what really happened?
Yes, sir.
You got nothing to lose, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, sir.
All right. Go ahead and
Thank you, sir.
go ahead over there and take the oath.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Help me God. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Tell me your full name.
My name's Peter J. Helfrich.
All right. Now, do you have a recollection of the events that happened on January 1, 2012?
Solemnly swear that the
Yes, sir.
testimony you're about to give shall
Yes,
be
sir.
the
Bear
truth,
with me,
the
you'll
whole
get to
truth,
speak.
and nothing
Is that a
but
yes?
the truth,
Yes,
so
sir.
help you God.
Okay, and was there someone living with you in a school bus on January 1st?
Well, she was my girlfriend and staying with me. She had her own
Good morning.
residence, and she would often go back there. So,
you
so yeah,
please
she
state
was,
your name and spell
Sylvia
your name for
Castillo
us?
was there.
Sylvia
night in question.
Castillo.
All right.
Is that too loud?
Now,
That's perfect. Okay, everybody here?
Yes, I can hear
chance
fine.
here. Briefly, can you tell me
Silvia.
what was going
Last
on
name
that resulted in a
Castillo.
brawl or a fight in the school bus?
Well,
I'm going to
she had gotten
just move
kicked
to
out of
amend
mental
the criminal
health
complaint
and
real quick to
done
correct the
various
spelling
other
of her
things
name from
that were against the rules that I
LVIA
set.
to
I told her
SI.
there could be no
LVIA.
meth
Thank you.
use, no angel
I want to
dust
talk to
use,
you about
and,
some
and other
events that
various
happened right around New
drugs.
Year's, January 1st.
And I
of this
had
year?
great suspicion to believe
do
that
you
she
remember
was back
calling
on meth and
some-
angel
the police
dust because
around
of
that
her
date?
more
Yes.
than erratic
How did
behavior
you
and
call
the
the
fact that
police
she
on
got
that date?
kicked out of mental health. She
Oh,
became very delusional and whatnot at times.
It all
and
began over
paranoid.
Agladia
So,
Smith's
when he went to
when we
purchase
had
a
gotten
money
back
order,
from Smith's, due
and
to
I
her,
was very elated
jealousy
over a
and
burgundy
paranoia
shirt that I
over
got at the Salvation
an
Army,
attendant being
like a pregnancy shirt, but
you know,
tight.
kind to me. She
And
called
then,
me honey, and I've never met
and
her
then the
before.
lady
She became
before that,
very,
I was already giving her the
angry at
looks,
me.
like you better not come
So
near
when
me
we
in my
got back,
image because you know
to
have
my
an image
place,
with the girls and we
we
like
were
to
trying to cook
compare
dinner
each other's body
with the
forms and say hi to
black
each
knife
other
in
and
question
look at
that was
each other's
found
wardrobe or whatever.
35 yards
And
away
and I
from
have
the
plans
scene
of a career in the
when I
future. I'm going to
got out of
college and all
jail,
that kind of
actually.
stuff,
But
and I know a
I'll
lot
allude
of
to the fact
people
we
in
were
the city.
cooking dinner.
And
This
so
black
she
knife that I
said to
described
Mr.
was
Peter
part
Helfrich,
of
honey,
the scene
and then he
by
says,
the
I love
camper
you.
at the time.
So then I said, do not expect
and
me to have
she
your
became
baby.
acting erratic,
I wanted to ask you a question real quick.
accusing me of infidelity, accusing me of
or
having
is Peter Helfrich
sex
here
with this
with us today?
Smith's attendant. And I told her, I said,
Peter
Sylvia,
Helfrich
this
in
is
the room
enough.
with us?
I've had enough of
Yes.
you.
Could you point to him and
I've,
describe
I've
something
done
he's
everything
wearing?
I can to help you, and
Orange?
all you've done is screw up
And I don't
every
know
chance
that,
I've ever given
that
you.
she can point.
You're gonna have to pack your things in the morning, and I'll help you go back home to your residence.
Are there any other
And you're
colors on
gonna
the
have to
trail?
stay away from me. If I have to get a
Yes.
restraining order, I'll get a
Stipulate she's
restraining
identified the
order.
defendant now.
At that moment,
What's your
she
relationship
accused
with
me
Mr. Helfrich?
she called me
well,
a liar and a cheater.
Mr.
and-
Gerald
and
F. Knuckles
shrieked
is
out at
like
me
a black
like
civil
somebody
rights
from the like that woman from The
political,
Exorcist, and came
like
at me so
rebel,
fast I didn't know
and
what was
he
going
believes
on.
in no medicine.
She grabbed me by
And
I had
I
6-inch locks
used
of
to
hair. I
work
had
for
long hair
him,
at the time.
and
She grabbed
I'm
me by the
always
hair, began
getting
ripping my hair
organic
out.
marijuana
She
from Mr.
put a foot move on
Gerald
me
F.
like a
Knuckles.
police officer might do, tackled me
And
to the
that's how
ground.
I met Mr. Peter.
I hit my head on the rocks.
But,
she was banging my
what was
head into
your
the
relationship with
rocks and onto the ground.
the
and she was
defendant,
choking
Peter
me.
Helfrich,
And
back on
she was
January
hurting
1st?
me. It was like my father used to do. My father used to
he
abuse
asked me to
I was,
be
I was
his, like,
afraid for my life. She
fiancé.
was choking me. She
were
was
you
going
guys
like
dating?
this on the
Since
sides of my
January-
head
I'm sorry,
with her
since
hands
June the
and
21st,
choking me back and forth.
last
And I
year,
begged of her. I begged of her
2011.
79 times. I said, "You
And
got to
were you
stop.
guys
You're
still
hurting me. You're
together
scaring
on
me.
January 1st
Please
of
stop."
this year?
I don't want to have to
it
hurt
was
you. I
a
don't want to have
shaky
to fight
marriage,
back. You
and
have to
I was
stop what you're
already
doing right
like
now.
making
I can't take more of
plans
this.
to
I was
kind
in
of
fear
like
of my life and
leave
because
him.
of prior abuse. It just put
Where
me
were you
back in the
guys?
place my
Where were
father
you guys
used to do
staying
this to me.
on January 1st,
So
2012?
after about the
East Basin,
9th or 10th time of me
across
pleading
the
with her
street from
to stop
Payless
hurting
Storage.
me,
And
I
he
had to,
has
I
a
defended
teardrop
myself and
camper, a
fought
school
back
bus,
with my right
and
hand.
another camper
But
that they gave
she
him.
had such strength that day. It
on that
led me to
January
believe
1st
that maybe
date,
she was on meth or some other drug because she
What
was
happened
so
to you
strong.
that made you call the cops?
I mean,
Okay, first it was
usually,
the issue of that
I
woman
would
at
expect that
Smith's,
from a man or
and
something,
we
but
talked
she's
about
only
it.
120 something
Then after
pounds.
that, I went panhandling.
Every time I struck her, she
And
said, she
there was
laughed
a
at me and said,
worker,
"You
a
punch like
man
a bitch."
that works at Smith's,
Is that all you got?
and
she
to
just
me,
kept
he
choking
looked
me
like
and
a Chucky,
hit
you
me
know,
on the sides of my head and ripping my hair out.
And the other guy, I call him his culture a Guatemalteco.
7 or 8
He's
times
a
with my right hand until
Guatemala.
I couldn't do it anymore. And she was just
And
laughing
obviously
and
he lives
cackling
like
at
I
me.
think homeless
And
or
she
whatever.
just kept, she
And
just
the
kept
other
ripping
guy,
my
a
hair out
white
and
boy.
choking me.
It was New
I
Year's,
didn't know what to
and they
do. I was in
invited me
fear of
to
my
a
life.
party.
And
I said,
then
sure,
all I
you know,
had
and
was my
I
left
was getting
hand
ready
left
to
because my
meet them
my
around
right
8
was
o'clock or whatever.
virtually inoperable.
And
I might
then
have
after
fractured
that,
it. I don't
another
know. I
car
wasn't given medical
drove up,
attention.
and
I was
it
refusing
was,
medical attention
so
at the
I always
scene. I
call
was
them
refusing
skinheads.
medical
You might
attention in
call them
jail.
skinheads,
So I don't know if
but
my
he-
hand
just
was
because they're
broken or not.
bald-headed and
But I
white.
couldn't use. I couldn't even
But he
use
was
it
a
to
very
write
cool
with
guy, and
properly
he
for
says,
another
"Oh, you know,
3 weeks
Mikey,
or
your
more
son,
after
he's
the
my
incidents.
neighbor, and he's doing
Regardless,
okay." And I said,
she
"Oh,
kept
really?"
laughing and
And then I
cackling
knew
and
in my
hitting me and
thought that
choking
my
me
son,
and banging my
I
head
do not call
into the
him
ground,
Mikey.
which there was rocks behind it.
my
So
ex-husband's
I was
nephew,
scared.
they call him
There was a
Mikey,
rock, a
so I had
small rock,
suspicions. I said,
by me, and I had to
thought, oh my
reach
God, I hope my
for it while
ex-husband
she
is
was
not around
while
here
she
in the
was
city.
attacking me.
Everybody's
And
kind of like
she was on
moving to
top of me,
Vegas
of
or
course. I
around
couldn't move
my
to get her
family.
off of me because she had
gonna
me
jump
weighted
in.
down. Right, I
one
reached for the
thing,
rock, and I
I
I
have
hit her
to
with a rock
try to
once,
figure
and
out
I asked
what
her, "Get
happened
off me
right
and stop hurting
around
me."
the
She
exact
just kept
time that you
laughing.
called the police.
And this
Yes,
went on maybe
he
3 to
gave-
5 times.
Oh,
I
he
hit her
gave
with
me
this rock.
$5 to
And then she
the
began
when I was
she began to-
panhandling,
she
and
began
then
to,
I went
get
home,
woozy and
and
bleed,
then we were
which is-
discussing. We were discussing.
indicative of the
discussing
pictures you're seeing right
about,
there was
Suzette
from this
Bermudo
rock, for me
going
being in
to
fear of my
court
life, for me being attacked by this
on
lunatic
January the 3rd.
that was ripping my hair out,
And-
choking me, and
and,
would not let
and
up on me, would
before
not let me
that,
go.
He controlled
She finally
my
got
free
woozy,
will of
and I said, "Have you
expressing
had enough?
my,
Please,
what I
just
wanted
stop.
to
Just
say.
get off of me.
How,
Stop this."
how she controlled
So she got off of me.
my $6
I ran to
barbecue
my
grill,
camper.
and no twigs from the
I
trees.
ran to my camper in
and-
fear.
and-
I was
and
looking
he
for a
bought
phone,
the
but I couldn't
mesquite
find it.
wood.
I didn't know if
And
she had it or not. I
also,
was not in my right mind, you know, after being attacked.
He
the fight or flight
countersued
thing. I was
the.
trying to
She
find a
said
phone
that
to
he
call.
had to leave the
But
property.
she came in,
and,
tried to enter in the
and
camper,
she hid her
and she
last
wanted
name,
makeup
and I
sex.
mediated.
I
And
said,
then
"Are you
he told me,
fucking
well, I'm going
kidding
to kick
me?
you if
Are
you
you out of
don't
your
go
fucking
and
mind?
take care of this
You
matter
just tried to
with
kill me
Suzanne.
or choke the
They were
shit
gonna
out of
kick
me and
you.
beat
Mr.
me, and
Peter
you want
Halford.
makeup sex. I
He
go,
was
you
gonna
need to
kick me
leave
out of my
now.
bed.
I go, you need to leave right
happened
now.
after that?
There's no,
Then I went.
tomorrow we're going to pack your stuff.
I used to
I
go
you need to get
to
the fuck out of here right
Oasis
now, you
Community
lunatic.
to get a
You
perishable
beat me like my father
food box
used to. I
for
go,
free
I
in the
can't
morning.
believe you would do
And
this to
Suzette
me.
used to go there.
So then she
and
goes,
so
well, I
she
need
had
my
to leave
purse.
my face while I was
I go,
getting
your purse is
a
not in
fruit
here,
box.
and you're not coming in my
And so
camper.
I said, good, I
'cause
took
you're a
care of the
lunatic,
matter.
okay?
And
So,
I did not
I gave her my keys. I said, look, go
wanted
find your
Mr. Peter
purse and get
Helfrich
the
to
fuck
put
out of
words in
here.
my mouth to
Now,
say more or
before I
less.
call the
She
police,
stated that he
because you
lit up
attacked me,
fires
and if I
around
call the police,
the
you're going to
his
jail.
whatever campsite. And then I said,
she grabbed
no,
my
he never
keys,
lit up any fires
and
while
I was,
there.
you know, licking my wounds,
you
trying to
cannot
regain my
bring when I
composure.
was
My
not
hand was
there
killing me.
before
My head was killing me.
and bring it while I'm
I
there.
was kinda
I
dizzy
got
from the
all
whole
the
thing.
plastic bags. I had a bag
And I was
with
just
a
hoping to
basket
rest, because
and
I
put
have
all
health
the
issues
plastic
and
bags
whatnot.
and go to Rebel to the city
anyways,
and just
I hear
throw
her
the trash as careful as possible.
Talking.
Do you
Well, she
remember about
talks
what
to
time you
herself
called the
often
police?
because she's delusional and,
No, I do not
schizophrenic.
remember the time.
My minor in psychology,
I
and
remember it was
had tried to give her
nighttime.
some help,
It was
so
nighttime?
I knew what her
Okay, did you
mental
see
health.
Peter at all that night?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Peter and
So
I were
I did-
talking about Suzette. And I wrote
hear
a
her
warrant
talking and
upon
and
Suzette.
yammering on,
And
so
then
I
they
get
said
onto
they
the
did
bus
not
to find out
understand
why
it.
she
It was a
hasn't
bunch of
left yet.
scribbled lines
Okay,
on the
I'm-
top,
I'm
and then
just
at the
thinking to
bottom,
myself,
I
it's been
wrote
15
blah,
minutes,
blah,
she's
blah,
had
blah,
plenty of time to leave.
exactly
So I
what
get on the
happened.
bus,
And
she was-
then
she
after
was on the
that,
phone with 911,
that was my anger. She
threw the
that
phone
they did
at
not,
me,
that I was already
and I
computing
see her with
a
the
lot of
knife
things. And
that we had used
And,
earlier for
that's-
cooking the ribs.
Stipulate
and
that
the food
Mr.
we had.
Vieta
She had
Cabell could lead a
the
little
black
more if he
handle
so
knife, and
desires,
she came
Your
at me with the knife.
Thank you, Mr. King.
I
Okay,
appreciate it.
I
do you remember talking
had,
to me?
I never
over
was a
at the
martial
jail
arts
earlier this
expert
week?
or anything, but
Okay. Do you
when she
remember
came at me with the
asking
knife,
you what
I kicked
happened
her in the
between you and
face.
Peter at the school bus?
I
Well,
hit her in the
we were
stomach.
cooking
I
lamb
managed
chops,
to grab the knife
and
and
I
shake it
graced
out of her
jiu-jitsu
hand,
on our
and
way
the knife
walking.
went
And I
where
threw
I
him
don't
to
know.
the ground,
It could have
pulled his hair and
been on
punched
the
his
bus.
rib.
It could have fallen off the bus. It could have whatever.
Oh,
but
over
we wrestled
since the
around for a
very
bit,
beginning,
and
I had my backpack.
I pushed
a
her
little,
off the bus
not a backpack, but
because of the way we were
a
fighting.
diaper bag.
Um,
A black Similac
pushed her off
diaper
the bus,
bag.
and she kind of
And it's
she fell
plastic
in a way
inside,
where she
and we
hit her
used to
head
put the bag
again.
of ice in the summertime.
and there were rocks
so
out there
my-
and everything. So
my
she had
purse with
fallen
all
like
my
in an awkward
credit
way
cards or
off the
whatever,
bus,
identity,
which is
whatever,
pretty high up.
was in there. And
I hopped
and I
off
told
the
Peter, I
bus.
have to go and
I
get my
looked
purse
around to
before
try
I go
and
to
see
bed.
where that
And then he
knife went.
snaps at me.
And
And
I
then
said to
he
myself,
snaps
"The
at
hell
me, and I
with
said,
it,
"Well,
just-
you cannot
just
expect magical
run."
wonders or miracles
Because
if I
she
cannot
could've-
come home."
You know, I'm
with
thinking to myself, she could have picked that
with the
knife
bag of
back
ice,
up.
and obviously, you know, this is
and
not
come at me
a
again. So I
secure
ran to my
place.
neighbor,
And
a
then
meth addict
he
thief.
he
you
slapped
know,
me right
great
here
place
and
to
left
have
me
to
with
go
the scar.
when you're in fear of your
And
life.
then,
But to
and
Joey
then I
Fenton's
forgave him.
camper.
And then after
I
that,
knocked on the door. I said, "Please let me in." I
he
told him
kept,
what had
one day he
happened. I said,
snapped,
"She's
and
got
then he
a
put a
knife,
letter
locked the
on the door when I went to work and came
wait
back
till the
home.
ambulance
And he
comes.
says,
The
"Oh, blah blah
ambulance
blah blah
came,
blah blah, you gotta go."
And I
And
told
then
the
I
ambulance,
used
I
to,
said,
I
"I've got
guess my
injuries
mistake
from her
was to say,
assaulting me,
"Why?" He
but
told
her
me to be
injuries
yours
are
and all that kind of
possibly
stuff.
worse than
And
mine.
then I
Go
said,
ahead and
"All
tend
right,
to her
I can't
first."
go back to
And,
the other guy or whatever."
So they did, but I never got
gonna
any
jump in again.
medical on that issue.
Because I wanted to
and
talk
then
more about the school
the
bus.
officers asked me what
Do you
happened.
remember?
They did
were
not
you
bother
in the
to
school
go.
bus when you called the police?
They did
Oh,
not
after
bother
we
to
got through
allow me,
rumbling,
like, handcuff me
he
and take
okay,
me
he says,
around
"Let
the
go of
area
me,"
to look for the
and
knife
then
because she
then I
had
let him
plenty of
punch
time
my face.
to hide that knife.
Then after that,
between
he
the
goes
time
to his
of the-
teardrop
of
little
me running
camper,
to the camper and
to-
the time
and
the
then
ambulance
he
started
waits
coming.
for me, and then
when
I said,
got
well,
out
I'm
of
gonna go
jail,
look for my
I found the
backpack.
knife about
Well, it's not really a
35 yards
backpack,
from
let
the
me
area.
quote.
I videotaped
A
it. It's
child
up on
bag,
YouTube. The
the
black
child
knife that
bag
she used
that
to
they
come at me
look for
with,
that.
and it's a matter of public record.
Uh-huh.
I
After
video
him
on the
beating my
website that
face,
I have built. It
I
was
went
even
looking for my, I told him I'm gonna go look
the
for
restraining order
my,
that
my bag.
Judge
And then
Brisbane
after
approved
that,
for me
he was in his
after I
camper
got out
waiting
of
for me.
jail.
And then I felt my
contain the
face
website and the
extremely
video evidence
like
with
oh
video
no, I
evidence
can't go
of
to
the
bed like
knife
this. I'm all like,
that
what the-
she
And then
tried to assault me
I get
with.
into the school
so
bus,
even though they
and
didn't
I
find the
happened to
knife that
find
night,
the cell phone.
the knife was found, and
And
Sylvia
then when
had plenty
I
of time
find
to
the
hide
cell
it.
phone, I dial 911.
By
He
God as my
hears me
witness,
from his
I did not
teardrop
use a machete
camper
on her or anything else. It was a
dialing
rock.
911. He takes the phone, and later on, I heard that he had a machete on my back. I did not know, and I thought they were cans. And then I covered my face up, and then he pushes me out the camper, and my elbow is still sore from
they
that.
did not,
And then the
take
cops,
very
the
much
sheriffs,
heed in
they
anything that I
showed
had to
up,
say about
and I
what
ran
was
to
going on
them.
and what she had done
You
to me.
mentioned those the injuries that you had on you, getting punched in the face and a swollen right hand. Who punched you in the
I had
face?
I
Mr.
had
Peter Helfrich.
cuts and
many
bleeding
times you punched you?
from the
No,
base
no,
of
I
my
was
I want to say pelvis,
I was
not,
kind of
not
like
the rump area,
like feigning,
but the
but not
pelvis
feigning,
and the back,
and
up
then
the
I kind of
back,
like said, you know,
because
like
my shirt was off. I had
Try to stop him?
I had injuries
no,
on the
no,
back
I
of
did
my
not
head, which,
touch his
which
face.
some people have
try to
said
cover
they
your
could
face?
still see the scars.
No,
I would say I had a
When
concussion,
he hit you?
although they
I
weren't.
some
They wouldn't
kind
allow
of
me
way,
medical.
I did not have the
in
thought
jail
to
or
cover
at the
my
scene, so
face.
I don't know because
It was
the doctor
kind of
didn't get
shameful to
see
say
me
this.
about
I
what
was
the
pretty
other
much
injuries
calling
were.
God on the
I believe I
phone.
had a concussion.
Why were you calling God?
You know, in the mind, I was like saying, "Oh my God, look at him."
Yes, sir.
One where, how did you feel
Right.
when that was happening?
Oh, he
after
punched me
pleading
so
with her to
much
stop
that I didn't feel the
attacking
pain.
me.
It was kind of
Yes,
numbed,
after
and then
pleading with
later
her.
on, I felt the
Is
swelling
that
in my
when
head.
Ms. Castillo got the injuries? Now, you said something about your back.
Initially,
what happened with your back?
You
I
dialed
believe-
911, blah, blah,
summer-
blah.
but
And then,
if I could see
then he
the-
started, I didn't
it
feel
was-
the
it was
things
like
on my
this side
back
of her
either.
face.
And then,
Something on your back? I don't have any problem with
machete?
All right.
Could you see that it was a machete?
No.
Okay. Did anything touch your back? May I ask permission?
Yeah, when I went to the hospital, I had 6 staples, and I have a,
Basically,
like a bald
when she
spot,
was
and they
when
got
she was choking me and
repaired.
ripping my hair out on the
Record
ground
reflect
and
the
slamming my
witnesses
head into the ground,
touching the back of
she
her
was
head with her
she was on
fingers?
top of me. If
Did
you
something
can see,
happen to the back of your
if you
head?
can see, she was on top of me.
It,
like this,
they took
you know, and
pictures
I'm
of
on
the
the
bed
ground.
and everything. I
So,
thought there were a bunch of
After
cans, to
my
tell you the truth.
repeated pleas of her to
What were
please
the
stop
cans doing with the back of your
assaulting
head?
me and
Yeah,
you know,
that's because
scaring
I did
me
not
and
know there were
choking me,
machetes.
and I was in fear of my life.
What happened to the back of your head, though,
I
that you
struck-
remember?
I struck
Did
her
you
on
feel
the-
anything on the back of
And
your
it
head?
was dark, but I struck her in
No.
the face. So
Did
that
anybody
very
touch the back
well
of your head?
may be indicative to the
Just
fight on
Peter
the ground.
with the
Although
machete
when she
Okay.
came at me
Um,
the second time,
and where did that happen?
in the school bus.
Okay. Was it a light
I
touch or a hard
I kicked
touch?
her in the face
Well,
and wrestled the.
As the
the knife out from her
thing
hand.
progressed, I went to the ground and I covered my face and I told him to stop.
After the first
Then,
incident,
then he pushed
she was,
me.
there was blood.
At this point, I'll pass the witness.
Yes, sir. In fact,
Ms. Castillo, I'm the lawyer for Mr. Helfrich. My name's Harry.
after
The school bus, you said, was somewhere, is that
I'm basically
in the
trying
desert
to state
outside of
that,
Pahrump?
you know, as she was
Yes.
choking me and all that
Not too
stuff that
far
was
from
going on,
the,
I've already
I think
alluded
you said the
to,
Walgreen, or the,
when my
Payless
I couldn't
shoe
fight.
Payless?
I'm right-handed, so I
it's
I
within,
couldn't
is that within a walking
fight with my
distance?
right hand to get her off me anymore. So when I went
Now-
for that rock that was about, it was about
I think you
this
said
big,
that you were
and hit
cooking
her,
some lamb chops in the school bus?
4 or 5 times or so.
Is that a yes?
Yes,
Finally,
I'm sorry. Yes.
Were you
and
cooking
begged
for
her to
yourself and
stop,
for
you know,
Mr.
get off me
Helfrich?
and stop hurting me. She kind of got a little like.
I was listening very carefully to you. You said,
Chicken legs.
And
I'm sorry,
I chicken legs.
chicken legs?
I did not like
she
lamb
was
chops.
ripping my
I
hair
did not
out,
eat
choking
red
me
meat.
and stuff, and hit.
Okay. You were cooking something, though. Then I thought I heard you say that you
Yes, sir. And then I
pulled
got up and
Mr. Helfrich's hair and
Right.
that you punched his ribs.
So
Were you the first person to
hitting her in the
hit?
head 4 or 5 times with the rock? and
Why
punching
did you
her
hit
to
him
the point where
while
she
you were
appeared
cooking
to
for
bleed?
him?
You You
remember?
She asked you for makeup sex.
The thought
She-
that went behind
she
my
followed me
action.
back to the camp.
Yes.
I ran to my camper.
Oh, first of all, he
Okay,
didn't
after-
believe
when I
me
got- when she
that
got
I was
off me
already
finally,
in
I
the
got up and ran to
process
my
of
camper, which is
suing
about
and
the
collecting
distance
all the gathering of warrants to
between-
holler rape upon my image as
So
a
I come into my
sport.
camper,
And
and
I
I'm
kept
holding on to her
telling
hand,
him I
and she
have
came
a
in, and she was
15-year-old
trying
little
to kiss
boy
me.
that no
and
one
she
is
said
going
she
to
wanted to have
threaten
makeup
or
sex.
touch
She was sorry she
and,
attacked
and
me
bring
and all
up
this other stuff. And I said,
past
you need to get the
mistakes
F out of
and
here.
live
I
through
go, you're
my
a lunatic.
so-called
And I was looking for the
confession
phone to
or
call 911,
whatever.
but I guess she
in
must have had it.
in my I am what you might call a Lotus Mexican tarot card reader, prophetess, and I said I do not sell my power, and the women decided to compete with my, I guess you want to call it mothership, beauty, image, or whatever.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I could stop you. So if I understood you, you were cooking, and then
Whose doesn't.
for whatever reason,
Element of mutual
you,
He scarred my face right here, and I said he's not going to put his. I even told him, I said,
clearly
you put a spirit on all the women to laugh at me because now I'm all scarred and everybody's going to come out flaunting their beauty, and apparently you do not know how much I love to express my beauty. I love to go to the ocean. I love to travel. I'm a homeschool mother, daycare provider. I've never been in jail before. I never been attacked as such a rapist in any kind of way.
if I could though, I'm just trying to figure out though, you were cooking, and then as I understand you, you hit Peter first?
He hit me right here first, and
He
then
hit
he
you
kept
first.
kicking me.
Okay, let me get that, let me clear that up. When you were cooking, are you saying that Peter hit you first by your eye?
When I first met him,
That was a while ago? All right.
on June 21st is when he asked me to date with him.
But on January 1st, on the day when you called the police, who hit who first?
I hit him.
Okay.
I said, you're not going to scar or put another threat, or you do not have the right to be jealous. I even had a dream about God. It was like a Catholic type of big church and a bunch of old men with blood
Let me
torches.
ask you this though. Okay, you indicated you hit him first. What did he do when you hit him? What did he do to you, if anything?
I said to him, okay, what went behind my thought of why I punched him?
No. What did he do after you're hitting him? What did he do to you?
Yes.
Tell me what he did to you.
Oh, he told me let go.
Okay, did he
And
hit you?
then he kicked me.
Okay. Then he hit you?
Yes. And I did not lay a finger on him.
Did you stop hitting him at that
Oh, I
point?
said, give me your biggest, best punch on how you're trying to scar my face.
Did he give you it? Did you think he was giving you his best punch?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Vieira-Cabell asked
Oh,
you,
Mr. Joey, his friend Phantom filmed it.
how many times do you think you were hit by Mr. Helfrich?
I couldn't count.
Well, I think it's
Did,
pretty clear that
were you bleeding?
way beyond.
It was dark. I didn't see the blood.
All right. Now, if I understand you, you said that you found a cell phone and then you called 911.
Yes, he goes to the camper like it's a normal day.
Let me just help me out here.
That's not a defense to it.
And if I understand you correctly, after you dialed 911, Mr. Helfrich came over and pushed you out of the camper.
He got the phone when he heard me dialing.
He took the phone and then pushed you out of the camper.
No, he was in his teardrop camper, which is the bedroom. And I went looking for my purse, and he thinks it's like the same issues like the first time. I think so, I think. I had already warned him. You're not allowed to be jealous of God.
Okay, but let me,
He looks at me.
I'm just trying to, when you had the phone though, he took the phone from you, Peter did. Did he hit you anymore after you took the
Okay,
phone?
I went into a school bus, I said, and I got the phone, and I said, no, I'm not going to have this man
I want to just clarify something
insecuring
for the
me
record
in my
so
bed
that
and just spontaneously punching me.
satisfy myself more than
Poor
anything
sport,
else.
not
Did
liberal.
he hit you when he pushed you out of the camper?
He got the phone.
Did he hit you? Can you answer that? Did he hit you?
When
When he got the phone from you?
January.
When he took the phone from you, did he hit you then?
Yes, that's when he came in with the machete.
The ex parte
All right.
orders are
And then he
generally
pushed you out of the camper?
Then he
when there's
pushed me
any
out of
inkling
the
that there may
camper.
be any
He
At
got
any-
mad when I dialed 911.
I approve the order.
At any time, did you have a knife and
Hearing
threaten
for
Mr.
the
Helfrich when you were
extended order that
in the
was
house, in the
requested
camper?
Was continued on a couple of occasions.
Did you ever,
Sure. I think. it
hold
had to do
anything
with
that
the
could be a
meeting
weapon,
was
like a
to be
frying
out of
pan
the
or a...
first time or
No.
something. Then, of course, I was in the hospital. I did not hear the hearing at that time.
And then you said when you went to the hospital, they put 6 staples in your head?
Today is my first.
And
real
was it a lady police officer
either
that you
story
saw when you,
regarding
that
this
showed up at the...
To
place?
tell you the truth,
You remember if it was a lady or not?
Okay.
I couldn't open my
Based on
left
the
eye.
testimony that I've heard today, and it was
Fair enough.
extremely enlightening.
Those are all the questions I
As
have.
to
Mr. Vieta-Cabell may have some questions for you.
No further questions,
can
right?
see the same incident and have a Thank you very much.
The
Conception of what
state's next witness is going to be Deputy Monique Mendoza.
I tend to believe that there may have been some issues with Ms. Castillo being aggressive towards the defendant.
I'm going to go with
I do not
Mr. Arns.
believe that his actions were self-defense.
Whatever's
You can
easiest for
take
you.
her back to the any department. We're finished with her, and I'll have the bailiff take care of Mr. Helfrich. Get away from the situation. All right, thank you. Beat somebody to a pulp. I do therefore find the defendant guilty as charged of domestic battery. It has been proven. Deputy Arms is returning her to the jail, so you'll be that this battery occurred. Taking custody of him. Mr. Helfrich, you've been in
You solemnly swear
custody
that the testimony you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you
February 3rd.
I do.
Is that correct?
I think there was the initial arrest, release, and then remand
Please
into custody.
state your name and spell your last name for us.
At this
Monique
time
Mendoza,
right now, he was taken
Mendoza.
back into custody.
What do you do for a living, Ms. Mendoza?
I'm employed with the Nye County
Many
Sheriff's
things
Office
happened while
here.
I was out, but I'm trying to catch up on them. I'm reading for the
Were you
first
on
time.
duty on
initial
January 1st
arrest-
of 2012?
On
Yes, I was.
Okay. Did you run into
January
someone named
1st,
Sylvia Castillo that
probable
night?
cause found
Yes, I did.
January 2nd.
Okay. And where did you run into her?
It was in the area of,
And
I
I
believe it
just
was 2400 East Basin.
noticed his booking
And that's here in
picture.
Pahrump?
Yes.
He did have
Okay.
hair at that
And
time.
why did you go to that location?
I was dispatched there for
Was
a
released
report of a domestic.
On January 12th.
what did you find
no
when you
charges
arrived at that
filed, so
location?
that's a period of
I
12
found Miss
days.
Castillo. She kind of popped
Now,
out of
it was
nowhere, popped up out of nowhere in the desert. She was severely beaten. Her left eye was swollen
total of
shut.
44 days in custody.
She had some blood coming down the left side of her neck.
Anything you want to say prior to sentencing?
She also had blood on the
Judge, it's
back
my
of her
hope
head.
you could, sentence my client to the...
And what
44
kind
days
of,
with credit for 44
is
days,
that a
sentence
is that a
suspended.
residence? What's
In
at
this
that
case,
location?
Arrest of 6 months on his head. That you,
I guess it's a residence. That's
direct
where
that there be no
she
contact
and
whatsoever,
her boyfriend stay.
even though there
or
may be
what she
TPOs,
called her
that this
boyfriend.
court issue a
I'm
criminal
going to
order that
approach
there
and
be no
show you
contact
what's
between
been
you and
marked
Ms.
as
Castillo.
state's proposed exhibit
Just
number
convicted
1.
of domestic battery.
I want you to just take a look at it real quick and
Absolutely appropriate.
let me know once you get a chance to look at it if you recognize it.
Fees, if you could allow the jail time to take care of those. And I think there's a community service requirement. I'd ask that you let the jail time take care of that too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I do recognize it.
This is the one where we should go about. And what do you recognize state's proposed exhibit 1 to be?
Sylvia Castillo and the condition I found her in.
Are those photos that you took?
Yes, they are.
Okay. And you took them that night that you met with Ms. Castillo?
Yes, I took them as soon as I could because the medics were on their way and they were going to take her.
Okay. Do those appear to be true and accurate copies of those photos that you took?
Yes, they do.
Okay. At this point, I've marked them all as state's proposed exhibit number 1. Does Your Honor prefer that they get separate designations for each photo?
How many are there?
I believe there's approximately 6.
Well, if we're going to go through them, however, other than what she's just identified, they should be marked individually. If you're not, then that's fine.
No objection to the 5 in aggregate. I think there's 5.
All right, thank you. Never know, because
I'm going to move for admission of state's proposed exhibit number 1
However,
at this time.
any objection? 44
none, Your
days in custody on a domestic battery charge, I think is adequate. I
Did you
think
locate Mr. Helfrich?
Yes.
needs more
Okay.
than
And
incarceration,
is
needs counseling.
he here in the courtroom with us?
Yes, he is.
Hopefully will go beyond this incident.
Tell us
and maybe
which
into
individual
the
he is.
other incidences
He's
you
sitting to my
described in
right in the
testimony.
orange and white.
So I'm going to
Okay.
order that
So,
Mr. Helfrich
did you have a
attend
chance to speak
a
with
minimum of 1.5
defendant on that
hours
night?
per week
Yes, I did.
domestic violence
And
counseling for a
what
period
did you
of
talk
1
to
year.
him about?
I asked him what happened
That he
with Miss Castillo.
Did he
Also-
tell you?
Yes,
have
he
no
did.
contact
What did he tell you happened?
with the victim
He
in this
said
matter
that
for the next
they were
year
in
while he's
an
in
all-out
counseling?
brawl, and that he had punched
That
her
he,
repeatedly, but only
received
after
the
she
mandatory
had
48
pulled
hours
out
of
a
community
knife on him,
service,
is what he said.
and that he performed that community
Did you
service.
do any further investigation to see if you could
That he
find the
received
knife or
44
verify
days
his
in
version?
county jail credit
Yes,
for
I
time
did.
served,
I relocated
and that
to
will be,
the bus. It's a school bus
concurrent
is
with
where they
credit
had
for time served
they
and
live.
fines and
Or
fees.
there is a school
You're
bus
going to need
in
to
the
pay
area
for
that they live in,
counseling. You have
which
already
is where I
indicated
was
you have
told
some
the
money,
incident
so
happened.
there won't be any
And
discussion later about I couldn't
Had he
afford to go.
described the knife to you?
You need to go to the counseling.
yes,
I
he
want
did.
proof of enrollment
and
within
he said
30
that
days provided to the
what
court,
it sounded to me that he described was a
and
like kitchen
monthly
knife
reports
with
thereafter
some tape
to
wrapped
show that
around
you
the
are
handle
still
portion of it.
participating actively in
And
that
did you,
program.
did you
Community
spend very much
service
time
can
looking
be
for that?
accomplished
I spent quite a
when
bit
you
of
are
time.
released from custody, go
looking
to
for
the
it.
window out front,
Probably-
they'll give you a referral, and
I'd have to guess anywhere
everywhere
between
but
20 and
no
30
to abuse
minutes.
would be
Okay. And
applicable
were you able to
for
find
the
that?
community service.
No, I wasn't.
Did you ask him if he could give you more
Can give you
specific,
the information at the window
a more
out front
specific
on the
location
program
for where
that's
that knife
available
might be?
here.
He was
If that
asked
does
several
not
times.
fit into your
I
schedule,
personally
you can
asked him,
sign up
and
for
I believe Detective
same
Berkowitz had asked him
counseling in
quite a
Las
few
Vegas.
times at my request also.
structured throughout the
Did
state.
he give you
so
an
you
answer
get
as to where
the
that
same
knife
counseling
might be?
No matter where you go.
He gave me a general location,
Would,
but no
Would counseling,
actual
as far as, I don't want to
or
say,
specific area
do they
in
have
the
just
school bus.
straight up counseling?
And was that,
Places
in
I can
that
go
general
to?
location he
They
gave
do.
you, that was the area that you searched?
The school bus,
Domestic
yes.
battery counseling is mandatory.
What was
Whatever
Mr.
counseling you
Helfrich's
do
appearance that
is
night?
only going to help you further.
Well, he
Thank you,
appeared
ma'am.
Any other
like he was in a fight.
It's all said
However,
and
the
done.
injuries that I
Just
observed
questions.
weren't as
Thank you.
severe on him as the injuries on Castillo.
And you mentioned that Ms. Castillo